Well, howdy friends and neighbors. Sean here from the HoodRat Customs. We're still HoodRat Customs. We're going to be going through a bit of a change, but today's video is just to show you guys, very quickly what's going on with Black Betty, but also I'm putting it out there. I wanted to show you guys the next project that I'm going to be doing as soon as I'm done with my 1979 GL 1000. And I'm going to be starting a restoration of a 1976 Honda Goldwing GL 1000. I'm going to give you guys the backstory for this bike, but I'm just going to give you a quick sort of visual tour around the bike, and we'll go back to some other things in detail. So here we go. So here it is. This is like I said, a 1976 Honda GL 1000. As you can see, well, the valve cover is off, and I took off this side of the crash bar because one of the valves is stuck open. So here's the story with this bike. It has been in storage now since 1981, as far as I can tell, and as you can see here on the odometer, it's 2,951.7 original miles. This bike has been sitting in a climate-controlled garage for the past 36 years, and evidence of that is if you look at all of the rubber components, like the brake line over here, for example. These are the original brake lines. There isn't a single crack or anything indicating that it was exposed to the elements for a long period of time, that it was exposed to UV, nothing. This has been in a garage for 36 years. Has, I guess, maybe ridden maybe 1 or 2 seasons, if that. And if you look at the banjo fittings, you know, they're still in excellent condition. Obviously the bike is very dirty and very grimy because the dust over the years has settled on it, so it's got a lot of dirt on it, most of which is just all cosmetic. So the plan is that once I'm done with that guy there, I'm going to start taking this one apart piece by piece and just doing a major cleanup. We're probably going to have to re-kit the carburetors. We're going to get rid of the rust in the tank because there is some rust deposits inside the tank. But I'm just going to open this up a little bit just to give you guys an idea of how actually clean this bike is, and how it's just really surface dust and grime that's covering it. If you open up the side cover here, if you look at look how clean that is. That's just dust. See, it's not faded, it's not cracked, there's really not very much rust to speak about. If you look at the gas tank over here, I mean, if you just rub away some of that dirt, you can see underneath that the surfaces are all generally clean and rust-free. So what's going to happen now is that, as I said, this bike is going to be completely disassembled, or that's the plan anyway, and this bike will be going up for sale. So if anyone out there is interested in acquiring this motorcycle, drop me a line, let me know. My contact information will be in the description of the video. Here again, see, this is just all, some light surface rust on the exhaust that you couldn't really avoid, but the bike has never been laid down. As you can see on the exhaust header, there's no dents, there's no scratches, there's nothing. All the bits are in chrome, and if you can see here, the wear strip for the kickstand hasn't even gotten to the warning mark here where you have to replace it. So this tells me that this bike basically was hardly ever used. All the chrome components are in good shape, again, just covered in some grime. It may need a carb kit. Before I take this bike apart, I'm going to do the bare minimum at least to get it running, because this bike as it stands right now does not have a title. The story behind this bike was that it was owned by a particular person. It was registered to a company, and the owner of that company, I suppose, was terminally ill and then left it to his friend, and the only paperwork that came with the bike was just a handwritten note saying, in the case of my death, me, party A, gives the motorcycle to party B. That was 30-some years ago. Last year, party B passed away as well, and it was party B's son who was selling this bike. So there was no title when I went to the to the license bureau. I guess in the States it's the equivalent of the DMV, I suppose. They ran the serial number, they ran the plates, and there was no sign of this motorcycle on the system anywhere because it had been stored for so long. I have to get this thing running, and I have to go through my legal hoops here in Quebec to get this motorcycle into my name, so I can get a title on it for the time being if I choose to ride it once I get it running and restored. So it will have a title eventually. If there's anyone out there who just wants this bike right away without a title, then that can be arranged as well, of course. If anyone does want to buy this stateside or anywhere else in Canada, of course the transport arrangements and costs that go with it will be on the onus of the buyer to arrange. A couple of things with this bike that do need to be taken care of. The Honda decals on both sides were removed, unfortunately, and I'm gonna have to go onto Fleabay or something like that and try and find the original decals. And the Goldwing, I'll show you the side covers, but here's it. Look at the electronics. It's all clean. Well, this is all just dust, but a little bit of electrical contact cleaner. The wiring harness is clean. There's, nothing's been messed with. There was an accessory added here. What was this for? I don't know what that is. If that's a hand warmer or something, I don't know. I have to find out what that is. But anyway, that was an aftermarket doohickey that was installed. But as you can see, I mean, this is just dust. That's all it is. The chrome here just needs a good buffing and a good polishing. The fenders, it's just dirt. That's all it is. Just cosmetic. This is going to require a little bit of elbow grease to get that back all nice and shiny again. But again, there's nothing structurally, mechanically wrong with this bike, other than the fact that it's been sitting doing nothing for so long. And here again, look, I mean, this is the original king and queen seat. There's no cracks, there's no tears. The stitching is perfect. There's very little that's wrong with this bike. The only thing, as I mentioned before, is that you can see here this valve, this intake valve on cylinder, what is it, cylinder 3, is stuck open because it just sat for so long and it just dry seized into place. But I did check the compression on all the other 3 cylinders, and they are to spec. So the compression on this bike is perfect. All chrome fasteners. It's just a really, really great find, and for someone who really likes the Honda Goldwing, the 70s vintage GL, this could be quite a nice bike for you. Paint is original. There's a little bit of scratching here and there. As you can see, there's a couple of blemishes, but nothing major. Just a couple of paint chips here and there, and that's it. And I will show you. I got the side covers right here. So here you go. Here are the side covers. There's a little bit of a blemish there. So the LTD decal is there. Somebody took it off of this one, so I'm going to have to go on Fleabay and try and find another one to put in its place. But I mean, nothing is broken. Everything is more or less, as clean as one could expect a motorcycle that's been stored for 36 years in a garage. So yeah. So in the description below, my email will be there, my phone number will be there. If anyone is interested in acquiring this bike, either now or after I've done the restoration, drop me a line, let me know. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.